This video explores the full breakdown of iOS 26.2 Beta 2, Apple's latest update for developers and public beta testers, bringing smoother animations, new tools, refined digital identity features, and hidden improvements across the OS. From enhanced security to fresh UI polish, this update highlights Apple's focus on stability, convenience, and futuristic user experiences. Let's dive deep into every new addition, every improvement, and every subtle change that makes iOS 26.2 Beta 2 one of the most refined updates in the iOS 26 cycle. To iOS 26.2 Beta 2 has officially arrived, and Apple has once again demonstrated its commitment to improving real-world performance, refining visual polish, and expanding digital convenience across the iPhone ecosystem, making this update one of the most functionally meaningful betas in recent months. So today, we're breaking down every visible upgrade, hidden adjustment, and major enhancement Apple has included, starting with one of the biggest additions, the expansion of digital IDs inside the Wallet app, where Apple now allows users in the United States to securely scan and store their passports and various official identification cards directly onto their iPhones and Apple Watches, giving users a more streamlined method for identity verification at airports, checkpoints, and age-restricted environments while relying on advanced cloud-based encryption to ensure all sensitive data stays protected yet easily accessible, reducing the need to carry physical documents and signaling Apple's steady push toward a fully digital identity future. Although digital IDs have existed in limited forms before, their improvement in iOS 26.2 Beta 2 shows Apple's increased focus on making this feature mainstream. The update also introduces a thoughtful CarPlay feature that allows drivers to disable pinned messages directly within CarPlay settings to reduce distractions on the road, a subtle but impactful change that emphasizes safer driving experiences, enabling users to minimize interruptions during navigation and long drives, proving once again that Apple continues balancing connectivity and safety. But one of the most talked about additions in this beta is the brand new liquid glass animation effect, which brings noticeably smoother, more dynamic transitions across the system, adding a bounce-like fluidity to opening apps, navigating menus, adjusting controls, and especially interacting with the Photos app, giving the interface a more refined and futuristic feel. And while this enhancement appears aesthetic on the surface, the increased smoothness contributes to overall usability, making the OS feel faster, cleaner, and more responsive. The new Measure app is another standout feature added to iOS 26.2 Beta 2, redesigned with improved accuracy and more intuitive spatial detection, enabling users to measure objects, walls, furniture, and room dimensions with higher precision, supported by upgraded AR algorithms that make the measuring experience feel more stable and reliable, especially for users who rely on iPhone measurements for interior design, DIY projects, or daily practical tasks. Moving forward, the update also strengthens Apple's beta testing ecosystem, releasing synchronized updates across iPadOS, macOS, visionOS, watchOS, and tvOS. An extended build number in iOS 26.2 Beta 2 suggests heavy behind-the-scenes refinement, with Apple addressing bugs, optimizing background processes, and preparing the OS for a polished public release. Another noteworthy addition is the improvement in overall animation speeds, making transitions noticeably faster, reducing latency across the UI, and amplifying a sense of responsiveness on devices ranging from older iPhones to the latest models, which makes everyday tasks such as opening Control Center, switching pages, scrolling through apps, and interacting with notifications feel quicker and smoother. Additional hidden improvements include optimized battery performance, more stable app memory management, reduce UI stutters, and refine haptic feedback timing, all of which contribute to a more consistent and enjoyable user experience. Siri also appears slightly more responsive in this beta, with quicker transcription and improved conversational recognition, although Apple hasn't officially documented these changes. iOS 26.2 Beta 2 also shows enhanced support for developers testing upcoming app features, allowing them to experiment with animation APIs, UI frameworks, and updated system controls that benefit from a new liquid glass effect, helping developers prepare future app releases with smoother, more dynamic interfaces. Meanwhile, Apple has continued improving security features behind the scenes with strengthened sandbox protections, improved vulnerability checks, and enhanced cloud syncing confidence for Features like passwords, digital IDs, and sensitive app data, and beyond all visible improvements, there's a clear pattern. Apple is gradually polishing the entire iOS 26 experience, making animations faster, reducing system noise, and preparing for larger structural updates in upcoming releases. So what does all this mean for you? For everyday users, iOS 26.2 Beta 2 brings a smoother, cleaner, more visually refined interface, reduced distractions through smarter CarPlay options, and major convenience upgrades through digital ID expansion. For power users, the faster animations, improved Measure app, and UI enhancements combine to create an OS that simply feels more modern and responsive. And for developers, this update offers new tools and stability improvements that help optimize apps for the next generation of iPhones. Overall, iOS 26.2 Beta 2 is less about dramatic new features and more about perfecting the experience, removing rough edges, and elevating daily interactions across the Apple ecosystem, making this one of the most polished beta updates in the iOS 26 cycle. And as Apple continues gathering feedback from developers and public testers, we can expect even more refinements in the coming betas leading up to final release. If you plan to install iOS 26.2 Beta 2, make sure you back up your device. First, test features thoroughly and report any bugs so Apple can continue improving the update. And with that, this was your complete deep dive into iOS 26.2 Beta 2. Stay connected, stay updated, and as always, thanks for watching TechVerse. White heavy checkmark recommendation for the end of video. If you're considering installing iOS 26.2 Beta 2, I recommend waiting for the public beta unless you're fully comfortable with potential bugs or performance issues. But if you love exploring new features early, this beta is stable enough for daily use on most devices, combining the best visual technology, new forms of interaction, ultra-high performance silicon, and a refined chassis design to create the most advanced and forward-thinking MacBook ever. And as these leaks and supply chain reports continue to gain momentum, it becomes increasingly clear that Apple is preparing a new era of MacBooks that blend power, portability, interactivity, and stunning display quality like never before, bringing users a device that not only meets today's demands but also anticipates the needs of tomorrow, making this upcoming MacBook Pro one of the most anticipated Apple products in years. And if you're excited about Apple's future laptop direction, the OLED MacBook Pro is shaping up to be a game changer that will redefine what a laptop can be, wrapping up this in-depth breakdown and bringing you every major leak, rumor, and insider detail currently available, presented right here on TechVerse. If you're considering upgrading your laptop in the next year, it might be worth waiting for the OLED M6 MacBook Pro, as this redesign represents the biggest leap in MacBook history, blending next-gen display tech, touchscreen capability, and massive performance gains. This is one upgrade you won't want to miss.